the freeloaders. Gotta let the freeloaders watch. Trace. S5 and R5 on the SR levels are the main levels for today to look at, and simply because that is 7,000 and 6,900. All right, here we go. Market open so far. Large red candles. Large red candles. 3C forming on oil. NASDAQ is getting crushed. Silver is still chilling. Gold chilling. 3C on oil. Beautiful 3C on oil. NASDAQ is absolutely getting wrecked. Wreckaroni with cheese, baby. Now, we do have tariff news coming out today. Of course, we have all these levels down here, 6, 7, 8. I love it. I love it. We're going to see what we're going to do here. Plunging large red candles on NASDAQ. 67.2 coming on down. Large red candles. I like it. We'll see if we'll play a little TMTF here. Not sure what they're going to do this. So far, we're already down like what? 100 points or so? I'm looking for some 3Cs, baby. 3Cs treated me well yesterday, and I'm looking forward again today. If they plunge this thing, we're going to go down to 627, which is the next target. Just keep an eye on things. 670. Ooh, another hammer candle. They are trying to hammer. That's twice they've hammered these candles here. All we need is a 3C, and we'll play up into about 720 or so. Just keep an eye on things to see how they're going to do this. $668. Coming on down. Beautiful stuff, baby. Beautiful stuff. 662, chilling. All right. Looking around, we've got a mostly green S&P. The only thing that's really red at the moment is XLK, but it's barely. Oh, nope, now it flipped over green. So they're still bottom wicking this stuff. So that's now 3 bottom wicks on the 1 minute here. And like I said, all we need is a 3C, and we'll see what we're going to do with this. And I want to be patient here. You know, we've had non-farm payroll, and there it looks like they're undoing a lot of it. And still coming off. 656. If they take this out, we'll play down to 627 here, but we just need anything. I'm just going to watch all this stuff right here. 665. Still chilling. I would probably say 685 will give us something good. 680, what, 688, 685, whatever the high of that candle is right there. ES is putting on a nice little bottom wick there too. Take a look at NVIDIA. It's bouncing. Right there. All right, about to. SCOTUS and tariff. Yeah, we have some SCOTUS news today about the potential canceling the tariffs. Now, JP Morgan put out their 2 cents about it. I don't know if I agree with it. Slow and steady wins the race. That's right, baby. I passed 5 TPT tests last night. Just have to get today to count as for a trading day 2. After doing single accounts for a while, this is my first round. Nice. Well done, Jonathan. Be careful with that copy trader, but well done. Enjoy that win. Are we too late to short this point? I would be careful shorting at the open like this with such a large red move, simply because they like to undo it. And like I said, it's unfortunate that they dumped it right before the opening, because although that was nice and it was playable, it wasn't as good as it could have been. If they kept this at like 25,860 into the open, it would have been nearly a guaranteed short position, as close a guarantee as you can get. Right now, the 0DT options are kind of back and forth, and we're neck and neck. 40 million calls, 35 million puts. What did JP Morgan say? It was posted. Somebody posted it right here. Message link. Yeah, there you go. Check that out. Slow and steady wins the race. 100%, baby. 100%. What's silver doing? Silver is bouncing back up. I cannot stress enough how beautiful silver can be. It was an extraordinary trade yesterday. I posted trade of the week in my opinion. Absolutely incredible. But if you just wait and demand high volume on silver, you can make all the money you want. It's extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. NASDAQ is putting on some terrible price action here. ES is 69.73.5. Silver has your mother. Silver's bouncing back up. Keep an eye on silver. I want volume. Are you referring to silver? Oh, big green. Silver options or futures? I don't trade silver options. I trade silver futures. Yeah. Still going. What's your stop loss on silver? It seems spooky even with one contract. I don't set a stop loss based on dollar amounts. I set it based on structure. So all of my stop losses are based on where I enter the trade. Now, I will tell you, the number one thing that goes through my mind is every time I see a 3C, every time I see volume, the first thing that enters my mind with silver, especially silver, everything but especially silver, is wait 5 seconds. Just give it a potato to let it do its thing. I can't tell you how many times I've entered trades, and I wish I would have waited 10 seconds. 10 seconds would have meant the difference between a massive profit and a mediocre profit or even a loss. Or getting stopped out like I did last week. Big green candle here, 3C on the NASDAQ. 726. Massive call buying, and we are off to the races, baby. We are off to the races. I love to see it. I love to see it. There we go. I love to freaking see it. Yeah, only lasted 2 seconds yesterday. That's okay. Silver's rocketing 78,000 or 78.900 volume on that candle. I'd love to backtest 3C silver setups. Do it. Yesterday, man, if y'all didn't catch it, I posted this before it happened. This was extraordinary, and this is the position I took that gave me such an amazing day. And the volume right there, bottom wick, I mean, that was textbook 3C right here on silver. And obviously, I mean, it was a banger of a play, and I posted that live as it was happening. Silver here. We do have a volume spike on that top wick on the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, you would need, obviously, I mean, heck, the 5C would be way, a 3C would be way down. But it's very early, obviously. NASDAQ blasting. Love to see it. Love to freaking see it, baby. 3Cs is all you need. Ayo, what's up, Jonathan? How you doing, baby? I'm clicking too fast. There we go. There we go. There's NASDAQ pulling away. 3Cs, volume, bottom wick, higher high, and up we go. And up we go. Love it. Boom, 785. Boom, 785. Oh, man. There it is. 358 million calls, purchased 35 million, put sold. Bullish options chain there. Still going. ES, top wick from 69.87. High volume on that top wick. Silver is putting on a potential 3C here. Let's see if they do a double tap or anything, but yeah, that is a beautiful high volume spike on silver. I would probably say look for 78. Under 78 or so, you could look for a retracement. Until then, give me that 3Cs, baby. NASDAQ 764. Nasty lead got me. What'd you get on lead? I thought we were supposed to ignore a 0930 candle. You are, yes. 100%. Silver still there. NASDAQ is top wicking. That is a high volume spike across the board right there, baby. Can you show us the 3C example on NASDAQ? Yeah, so NASDAQ came down, obviously. And then they started to put on this little setup here with red candle bottom wick, and then a red candle at the bottom wick to do a green hammer. All the while, you had volume come in, obviously higher volume here. Now, when we're dealing with the first 15 minutes, that's a lot of momentum. So you've got to obviously be delicate. The position sizing has to come down if you would like to take a trade in the first 15 minutes. But that bottom wick there, momentum after such a large run in pre-market, which is why I don't like shorting the open when you have such a red run like this. And then, of course, they claim once you take a higher high, and up we go. And now we have a 3C short setup that's forming. Not on the 5-minute yet, but on the 1-minute is beginning to form. We've got volume, we've got top wick. Right there. All right, delete all this. Wish there was a way to delete like the past only a couple of drawings, but yeah, so we did have the Rashke green. We had Rashke green yesterday, and now we have this big aggressive bounce. So, what time is the Supreme Court decision? I actually don't know. What is it, 12 o'clock? Who's got that? Oh, what was that? I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Silver is still top wicking. Beautiful stuff. Let's see. We have top. See, this setup on silver is looking decent, but we need to be patient with it. As the price action climbed into the 79 realm, we have top wick, top wick, top wick, top wick with a volume spike. So if we get under the 78.8, we can play all the way down to the lows, which would be great. That's what we're looking for. But if it holds it, then that's absorption. That's why we need to wait for the 3C close of 78.81. NASDAQ is chilling. Is it 10 Eastern? There you go. NASDAQ is there, 70.57. Keep a close eye, keep a close eye. In fact, I want to set an alert right there. Add an alert on silver right there if it crosses. If we can get that break, oh, I already got it. There you go. I didn't have to come off the screen. Is court decision worthy of a strangle? It might be worthy of a strangle. It might be worthy of a strangle. This is why I didn't want to see too big of a red move in pre-market, because it does stuff like this. It reduces the volatility when they shake out before the market opens. If you can maintain directionality in pre-market, it expands the volatility into the open. And volatility is my bread and butter. I love it. But when they go ahead and shake it out, it starts to do this crap where we pin flat for 10 minutes in the first 30 minutes. IV is a little higher. It's about 5 or 6% higher than normal. So you do have to take in that account. But it may be worth it. If they say something crazy, then we're going to have volatility expansion, especially after such low IV. We're at the same price we've been at for almost 4 months now. So we might finally be able to get out of the range if something crazy happens. Top wick. There's a silver move, by the way. Beautiful stuff. There you go. How's your mother? I love it. It's like a symphony. Dun, 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 dun. That's all you need, baby. Oh, man. The YouTube video is just about ready to be posted. I think another day, maybe day and a half, it'll be posted. So be ready. Be ready. There goes NASDAQ, baby. Hey, sweet. Looks like TPT is upgrading their customer service. Thank. Nice, finally. That's the one drawback of that firm is that their customer service has been a little bit slow the past few months, but I think they've recognized that they're expanding too fast and they need to grow with it. It's good stuff. Booyah. Polymarket will tell us which way the court ruled. Most likely, yes, they will. All right, there's a bunch of put buying hitting the tape here. Well, I say a bunch, relatively speaking. They just went from 40 million puts sold to 360 million puts purchased. So that's about a 400 million change on this move, and they're not doing anything with calls. So far now, the price action is terrible. We had the beautiful short in pre-market. We had this little bit of momentum bounce in the first 15 minutes, and now the S&P is falling. Silver's not really moving. Retesting their SR flip. Patience is the name of the game right now. Patience. Patience. All right, what y'all got? Triv League? This is not. I got knocked. This is not for me. All in LAC though with 14,000 shares. There you go. Getting price action digit confirmation 94675. Beautiful. I like it. I'm having trouble figuring out where you can enter after seeing the volume. Well, the volume tells you, obviously, kind of like what I told people yesterday, is that a setup can make an absolute ton of money for one person, and the next person that takes it, they get absolutely demolished. So it all comes down to experience and analysis. The first two C's of the system are technical. It's very easy to identify volume spike with a wick. Very easy. The third C is the art form. If you look at Chapter 4 of the price action book, a complete guide to volume price analysis, I talked about this yesterday. If you have the book, it's page 35, 36, and 37. If you don't have the book, the first 3 or 4 pages of chapter 4 you need to read. And it goes into all of this stuff. It goes into what does it mean to identify volume? What does volume mean? What do the wicks mean? What type of wick do you have? Because all wicks are not created equal. If you have a large sweeping top wick with a massive wick and a little body, that's incredibly strong. If you have a small wick with a big body, or even just a very tight candle, that's not very strong. So you have to have a very strong buyer's wick to play the bounce with a lot of volume. And the bigger the volume, the more aggressive you're going to play. That's why sometimes I wait for a full 3C confirmation. Sometimes I don't even wait for the third C to even begin to form. I just take the trade. And of course, location plays a big part of that. Am I trading at a weekly high and low, a monthly high and low? There are times to turn the aggression up. There are times to turn it down. And that's the things I can't necessarily teach until the setup presents itself. That's the experience part of things. Silver blasting back up. Right here. Did you ever end up entering the Stevens Cup? It wasn't this. It was the it wasn't called the Stevens Cup, was it? It was the other thing. Not yet, but I am going to enter it. I know I'm about 9 days late, but I am going to enter it for this year. I haven't had a chance to get the application done. Robbins Cup. Yeah, I am going to enter the Robbins Cup, but there's still, I'm fine. All right, sweeping top wick with volume on silver there. On silver bells. Robbins Cup, yeah. Silver's top wicking there. NASDAQ got dumped. Look at that. Look at the puts. The puts saw that too. The puts saw that. Massive, massive put buying. It went from about 100 million puts sold to 586 million. Now silver's going to try to do the same thing to us. There goes silver, breaking down. NASDAQ got absolutely dumped. I love it. there wasn't really much there to tell you. I mean, we did have, I mean, that is a technical 3C, but I mean, right now you'd have to enter so quickly on that one candle because that setup formed and expanded so quickly on the 5-minute. Yeah, that's not an easy one to take unless it continues down. The 1 minute, I mean, yeah, but you can kind of see here we did have volume to stop it. And the volume, like I said, the volume doesn't have to be on the confirmation candle. It just needs to set the environment. So what happens? The price action climbs. We have an aggressive top wick with volume right here, and that sets the top. And now we consolidate in this range, and then we break down. Now, like I said, the 5-minute would have been difficult to catch there because it expanded so quickly. But that's okay. Remember, don't get frustrated on missing positions. Your job is not to catch every position. Your job is to catch one single solid setup. 3 to 4 setups a week is what you want to identify, execute, and take profits on. You don't need to catch 5 a day. Sweeping top wick on the I'm sorry, silver. What's up, Bandits? How you doing, baby? Great to see your view is at 160. Been watching for almost 4 years now. Nice, Jonathan. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm glad it's grown a little bit, definitely. I mean, we were at like 400 when we first started, but that was when we were free. So, if Supreme Court overrules the rally, the tariffs market will rally. I think it'll go the other way. I think we're going to dump. Because if they overrule the tariffs, then we have to back pay hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars, which I think is a terrible idea. I think they need to keep the tariffs, but I think the market. I mean, of course, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It doesn't even come down to the bearishness or bullishness of the event. It comes down to what the dealers are positioned for and what the actual outcome is going to be. If they are positioning for them to overturn the tariffs, then it's going to probably be a bullish reaction. If they're not positioned for it, then they're going to dump. So what are the probabilities right now? So if Polymarket shows that there's a 26% chance of them ruling in favor of the tariffs, the most likely, then the market is going to be positioned for the opposite side of the trade. And it all comes down to volatility. So right now we have a tremendous amount of put buying. We have a little bit of bearish flow. We have the silver still chilling. We have NASDAQ is rolling over. So yeah. Cole Turner, what's up, buddy? I used to watch you all the time. Stopped like a year ago and started watching again. Just want to say your emotional control is absolutely inspiring, and I aspire to achieve it. Thank you. I appreciate it. That emotional control, it has been born through blood from not having emotional control, and that's the part of trading that's experience driven that can't be taught from anything other than yourself trading. Learning how to be patient. Not chase trades. Don't FOMO. Don't overtrade. Don't revenge trade. Don't try to get it back. All that kind of stuff. So, it's just simply trading. A lot of traders say that it takes them 3 to 4 years to learn how to trade profitably. Well, it doesn't take them 3 to 4 years to learn the technical side of things. It takes them 3 to 4 years to manage themselves, to learn how to manage who they are, to figure out what kind of trader they are, and learn how to manage it. What is my take on silver price action today? So far, quite bullish. Quite bullish. But again, to me, I'm just waiting for volume spike. Right now, we have a couple of volume spikes, but for silver, if I can wait for something like this volume right here, then it's almost guaranteed money. It's almost guaranteed money if I can wait for a volume spike of that caliber on silver. Until then, I'm not going to do nothing. I don't care what silver does. I am not interested on chasing an upward trend. If I see a volume spike, I will take it, and I'll ping it. And I will say, I mean, if I'm going to post these setups, y'all have to realize if you're checking the setups 10 minutes after I post them, don't go chasing the setup, because someone got smoked yesterday trying to take the setup too late. At least allegedly. I don't know what happened, but apparently someone got smoked because he tweeted like 10 minutes after I posted the trade. So again, I'm posting the setups for people who could try to catch it, or at least go back and look at it for educational purposes. But if you're chasing setups after they formed, then you are risking yourself. You're definitely one of the best influencers out there. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that, SPQ. Appreciate that, SPQ. Thank you. I've been a few months since I hit your channel. Forgot how simple, insightful, and calm your approach is. Thank you. It is very simple. It is very simple. I'm simply waiting for volume, and I'm waiting for wicks. That's all I need. The higher the volume, the better. The more aggressive I'll play. $25,735. Bell too soon, still haven't touched that. I just don't know how he lost on it. You know, I mean, the silver rocketed the rest of the session. I mean, you might have had a weak entry, and of course, position sizing. I'm sure if I had to guess, he over position sizing. I don't know. I didn't talk to him, but position sizing is absolutely crucial because if you position size appropriately, it's amazing how much slop you can deal with because the price action on the short term to show on the short time frame is going to have some slop. It doesn't matter how good of a trade you take, you're probably always going to have, you know, a couple of ticks worth of red action against you. That's just the way trading is. And if you're over position sizing, half of a red candle against you if you're trying to buy the dip can mean is like life change. It's terrible. It's destructive. But if you're properly positioned, cool, whatever. I'll go watch YouTube videos until the trade comes back in my favor, within a certain bound, of course. And that's something y'all need to learn. Am I looking for a long on silver after a volume spike? Right now, I'm not chasing this upward movement. I am looking for an extremely high volume spike to tell me that it's hit supply. Let's get it, Jonathan. I love it, baby. Let's get it. So I'm just kind of rotating through a couple of different names here. NASDAQ, silver. NASDAQ is smack dab in the middle. Be very delicate with the indices because we have a very large data posting coming out in 4 minutes, which is the SCOTUS decision. RTY is going to get affected heavily. Spot Gamma talked about one of the reasons that we're having a little uncertainty right now is that the small caps are outperforming the mega caps by a long degree. If you go look at RTY, they are outperforming like crazy. They're finally going bullish after 5 years of being destroyed, while as NASDAQ is not doing so hot. All the main tech stocks are at the same levels they were 7 months ago. Because of that, it could have a catalyst volatility expansion move that may or may not be the best for the market. It's not the best setup going into some uncertain events. Is there a reason that TPT does not have silver micros? Probably because of data agreements. I struggle with position size when price pulls back into the candle. It's hard to judge how many contracts you will need to use. I always over or undersize. Well, especially in the world of prop firms where you're trading multiple accounts, I mean, it's astonishing what you can do especially if you're copy trading with one micro. I mean, you can literally make 5-figure payouts a month if you're copy trading 5 accounts with a micro. You can trade this with TPT, yes. You cannot trade non-farm payroll. What was the price action book? The Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis. Right there, without the X. There you go. Silver, a little bit of a top wick there. Not yet. NFP sucked today anyway. Yeah. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Silver's coming off. 786 million puts purchased, 5.8 million calls sold. So the option chain is quite bearish at the moment. Quite bearish. Right here. Good morning. I haven't been able to watch in a long time, but glad to see you're still going. Yo, what's up, Nikki Notch? YouTube must be recommending my live stream today for the first time in a while because a lot of people are joining. What's up, baby? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. NASDAQ is still bouncing. Nothing there. ES is still bouncing. Nothing there. Silver is still chilling. Again, I mean, it's obvious you see these little volume spikes here, but these don't interest me. I'm being very patient for an outlier amount of volume, and we'll get it. Yesterday on the morning stream, I told you all to wait for the afternoon silver move because they will give you a beautiful move, and they'll do it again today. You just got to wait. You just got to wait. And don't be the jabroni who sees it happen and be like, oh, man, I wish I was patient. No. The opportunity cost of an erroneous trade is more expensive than the actual monetary cost of a trade. We just lurk or have you in the background. I like it. You paid the YouTube algos. I did not. I don't even know how to do that. Appreciate you, Lava. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do here. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Let's go. What's the quantity of this candle? 2,000? Let's go 1.5 thousand. How about that? I'm going to set a volume alert for 1.5 thousand. How about 1.5 thousand? All right, so I've got an alert set on volume for 1.5 thousand worth of volume on a candle, on a 1 minute candle. So I have a 1 minute candle for 1,500. We'll see if that gets us something. ES and NASDAQ are both top wicking. We're still range bound, smack dab in the middle of the range. Oh, I love you, man. Can we just create the volume alert and move it? If it makes sense, you can, yes, 100%. Sweeping top wick right here. NASDAQ dojied out. Silver still chilling. Right here. Any comments on Blue Sky Prop Firm? I've never used them personally. I do have people in the stream that have used them, and they seem to have liked them. But yeah, I haven't heard anything negative about them. I use TakeProfitTrader. That's why I've got the big green banner up top. I'm a big believer in them. They have daily payouts. They have no hassle payouts, so they don't ask you, hey, how'd you do this? What'd you do this? Show me proof. None of that. It's no hassle, instant payouts. It's great, and it's no cap too. So no cap for real. Use code OMTPT. I love it. How do we subscribe? Go to www.theoptionsmillionaire.com. Link is in the description of the video. Choose whichever plan you want to be a part of. $25. You can come hang out with us in the server. I post setups. I post swing trades. I post signals. We have daily streams. We do weekend calls. Whole kit and caboodle. Asking for a friend. Do you know if he was banned by TPT, if we could open an account with his wife's name? I don't know that. I don't know if it's an IP ban or not. I don't know that. I guess it would depend on why he was banned. Yeah, VPN time. There you go. Just make sure you don't set your VPN to Iran. You won't have a good time. All right, top wick NASDAQ still not going anywhere. NASDAQ is terrible at the moment, and I'm just waiting. Still waiting on silver. It was a lame excuse just to charge back because their customer service would not get back to him. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty common with prop firms. If you charge, like TopStep, for example, if you charge back TopStep, they will ban you too. So that's pretty common with props. Honestly, I wish I could do that too. All right. 200 down to 246. Charge back Apex. Yeah, really. Well, this is pretty terrible. Silver still chilling. This dotted line is the volume alert. You see it. So that's the volume alert. Supreme Court will not rule on tariffs, so we're good to go on tariffs. That is very true, Damien. They won't even pay anyway, so whatever. It's free money for them. No ruling yet about the tariffs. Can you put the website? Yes, I can. www.theoptionsmillionaire.com. I miss you. This is McCampbell Soup. What's up, buddy? What's up, McCampbell Soup? Hey, I remember you. Is your Discord still $25? Yes, it is. I never intend to raise the prices, so it'll always be $25. I think $25 is a fair bet. It's cheap enough for someone to put a little money in there to see if it's for them, but it's not so cheap where it brings in everybody. You bring it. We had it too cheap, and it was terrible. It was free, and that was obviously awful. And then I raised it to $5 and it was still awful. I think $25 is a good buffer. That's the good filter. So the SCOTUS says they will not rule in the tariff case today. All right, so little psych. Get everybody watching, then psych. To reiterate, that's all we're getting. No tariffs or Colaris. Nice. Interesting. I still don't understand how every other country can charge us a tariff, and yet we can't charge other countries a tariff. Well, I can't answer that without getting into some my political beliefs on income tax. Red candle's coming back over. Let's go take a look at silver. Silver is starting to put on some top wicks here. I'm not really too crazy about this setup either. I need volume. Right now, I'm just kind of chilling. There ain't much here. Price is falling here. Yeah, we have a lot of call selling. You see the options right here? This is call selling and put buying at the moment. The S&P is much more bearish than the NASDAQ. S&P just took out a new low. Just put a new low of the day in. You see the red range is expanding. NASDAQ cannot break through this little support. You see we have an obvious little support. If you use the Alt-J feature, you see that all these wicks are just right here. There's a whole bunch of support with all these wicks. So just be patient. It's like you never talked about those beliefs on live. That's right. Y'all have no idea what my stance on income tax is. All right, here we go. 688. Oh man. $675 dropping again. Beautiful stuff. Silver still coming down. ES getting plummeted. NASDAQ is getting plummeted. I love it. I love it. All right, NASDAQ is coming down 665 to low of the day. S&P is already falling. Right here. You know how everyone says volume cannot be hidden? Anna Colling says this. My question is, why can't it? I mean, we can hear about institutions hiding longs and shorts, riding through dark pools. Why can't volume be hidden or manipulated? Well, I think she says that as a broad stroke. Obviously, some volume can be hidden. I'm sure there's tools and stuff they can do. Yeah, sure. I mean, we're talking about probably one of the most fraudulent activities in the world. I think she's talking in broad strokes. Like right now, for example, if a tremendous amount of volume hits the tape, we're going to see it. Now, dark pools are always routed through the exchanges anyway, so you can't even really hide dark pools if you know what to look for. 69.72. VIX is bouncing back up. NASDAQ is still rolling. Yeah, tariff rules not even happening today. Yeah. 491 million puts, 860 million calls sold. So they're selling a crap ton of calls here. This is more call selling than put buying. And we're rolling back over 637.8. And we're looking for 570. The first target here is going to be the overnight low, which is what our pivot is here. This is what this orange line is. 627, breach that. We have volume coming in right there. Tremendous amount of volume at this 627 area. We're going to get 3C off of that. That's the highest volume candle of the day right there on NASDAQ. As we hit the overnight low, as expected. So right there, that's a scalpable wick. If you know what to look for, that's a scalpable wick. Obviously, right now, there's no confirmation, but some people might be able to exploit that. That's the easy stuff. That's the easy stuff. Just simply plotting levels. There's no analysis to that whatsoever. Just plot a level. Plot a stupid level. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then from there, you throw in a little analysis, and bada boom, bada bing, how's your mother? 642. Bada boom, bada bing right there. 647. There we go. 657 right there. That's a 40, 50, 60 point move right there already off of the overnight low. Right here. 628. Easy peasy. Keep things simple. Keep things simple. Simpler is better. Beautiful. Highest volume candle of the day, bottom wick on the 1. On the 5 minute, you need a very large move to get a 3C, so you may not want to necessarily wait for a higher high on the 5. That's up to you. You'd have to wait for another 50 points on NASDAQ to get a 3C. So that's the problem with having a very tight consolidation, such as this, and then a breakout, is that when the breakout happens this quick, the 5C requires a very large move to get the confirmation. So you do with this what you will. There we go. Oh, man. See how simple things can be? As long as you're just waiting. Do nothing. Do nothing until something needs to be done. That's all there is. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You throw in a micro or two, and you lower your position sizing, all of a sudden, trading is not so stressful anymore. It's not so stressful anymore. Doing nothing is my superpower. Doing nothing is a superpower. 100%. In trading, doing nothing is a superpower. You want to be more consistent, do less. What platform is this? You are looking at Trading View. Now on the left, this right here, this is Spot Gamma. This is a Spot Gamma Hero tool, and what you're seeing on the chart is Trading View. All right, big green bounce. Right here, this needs to be your bread and butter. I can't get any more clear than that. Volume. Outlier volume, bottom wick, and then flow right up. This level right here, this is your overnight low. That's your overnight low right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Haven't done nothing until this point. And all you need is a high volume bottom wick off of a prior level. I mean, come on. Come on. Sorry. I've had a really good week. I've had a phenomenal. This is one of those weeks where everything I touch turns to gold, and which I know what happens next week. Or silver. Yeah, everything I touch turns to silver. I just can't go to the bathroom. I'll have a problem. I don't want to trade this with so much call selling. Yeah. Boom. 743 still going, baby. 743. You deserve it after dealing with the same questions day in and day out. Yeah, I don't mind that though. It's very rare that occasionally I get annoyed by the same question, and only if the same person asks the same question over and over again, that gets me aggravated, because Larry, dude, I've already answered that question, But if multiple people are answering the same question, whatever. I mean, that's part of the job. That's part of the job. Am I still holding Neo puts? Yeah. I love it. Nice, Jonathan. Well done, buddy. Well done. All right, so high volume right now is the name of the game. That's what I wait for. I'm like Carlos Hathcock in Vietnam. I'm waiting for exactly what I need to see. I see. Oh, there's a little glisten on the other mountain. That could be a enemy scope reflection, and I'm going to put a round right through the freaking lens. Right off of it, baby. Tremendous amount of put selling. You see this right here? Put selling like nobody's business. Like nobody's business. What a freaking move. Look at this. Look at this. 130 points on NASDAQ. 130 points on NASDAQ. Wow. 130 points on NASDAQ. 130 points on NASDAQ. $130 points on NASDAQ. Give it to Daddy. Give it to Daddy. Makes you want to say, put selling like crazy. Like crazy. Let's do a giveaway. I'm going to do a TPT giveaway today. Who wants to do it? $50,000 TakeProfitTrader account giveaway. Boom. We're doing it. It's live on the Discord. If you're on the Discord channel, go down to the 50K account channel and make sure you get your vote on. And I will give a $50,000 account to one of you jabronis today. By the way, if you've already won an account, I'm not going to give you another one for now. I want to spread the wealth. I guess I am kind of socialist. It's amazing how much of a difference 10 grams of daily creatine. You do. I take 10 milligrams every day, baby. 10 mgs, baby. How can I get in the Discord channel? You got to sign up. Discord, correct. So, I try to do a lot of giveaways. You know, giveaway free accounts on TPT for the members. Go to theoptionsmillionaire.com and sign up. The website is absolutely terrible. I apologize. I built it myself. It's awful. I'm in the process of getting a new website built. I just have to find somebody I trust. Unfortunately, everybody I try to get to build the website is from out of the United States, and last time I dealt with somebody outside of the United States, they scammed me. So I have to find someone inside the United States that will build me a website that's not $25,000. I realized that you don't get BSODs anymore. What did you do? I use Bookmap on my laptop. So I stopped streaming. I stopped putting Bookmap on my computer. Apparently my computer can't handle everything plus Bookmap. So once I did that, no more BSODs. NASDAQ is still going, baby. I love it. What's silver doing? Silver's still chillaxing. I haven't got a notification on silver, and that's good because there's no volume on it. And I don't want to touch silver if there's no volume. So, off topic, what creatine am I using? Whatever I found on Amazon. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you. I ordered it on Amazon. It's probably mixed with flour and, stuff. Pin your comment. There you go. I like it. Thank you. Where do I go on Discord? If you go to the 50K account, So if you look here, I'll post an image on it. So here is the screenshot of the Discord system, of the Discord channel list. If you go down to that 50,000 TPT count giveaway right there, that's where you can sign in for the competition. I'll give one away. Silver going higher? What are they doing? Yeah, you know why silver's going higher? Because there's no volume spike. Without volume, there's no supply, and it's going to keep on trending. NASDAQ is still trending higher. They said put saltpeter in it. That's my play today, long and silver till it spikes. There you go. I like it. It's a giveaway only for subscribers. Yes, it is. Yeah, the giveaway's only... I drive as much value as I can to my Discord members, so they pay for it. They put their time there, so I give away stuff for them as much as I can. Am I strictly VPA? Yes. Well, I would suppose 95%. 5% of the time, I'll take a trade based on guts or intuition or whatever. However, when I do that, position size comes way down. Sometimes I'll speculate that's not necessarily based on VPA, but position size has to come way down. 95% of the time, I'm not doing nothing unless I've got VPA. All concepts are VPA. NASDAQ is flying, baby. NASDAQ is flying. Look at that volume. Look at that volume. Unbelievable. Silver, hey. Yo, ayo. Silver. Silver bells. Holy smokes. Wow. Wow, look at that volume, baby. 243 million puts sold, 520 million calls, and they are rotating, baby. Look at that volume. How much is on that candle? So far, we've got only about half what I need, but that's still outlier. They're still going to go a little bit up with that until they liquidate. Amazing. Amazing. NASDAQ is there, 25.8. Amazing stuff. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Look for volume. I'm waiting for the little beep of the volume alert come across on TradingView. Once I see that, I will take entry. NASDAQ at 25.8 right here. Good morning, DL Smith. How you doing? $79.77. Beautiful. Look at that freaking move, man. Look at that freaking move. Unbelievable. Silver is an absolute beast. It's a maniac. It's an absolute maniac. We have 221 million puts sold. Sweeping top wick so far, 79.72. Let's see what they're going to do here. That's not a sweeping top wick. That's an exaggeration. It's a very, very small top wick. 79.71. Could be a possibility of a decent setup here, but we need to be patient and let it form. Could be a possibility of a good setup here. We've got to let it form. Look, volume's coming in there too. Volume, baby. I just took profit on silver at 72. Nice sling. Well done, baby. NASDAQ is still going. We had volume come in at 25,810. So that's not incredibly high volume, but it is certainly higher given the volume. That's pretty obvious, right? Now, what else do we need to do in the event that we do roll over today? Which I don't know. I'm not in the market of guessing. That this level right here now is reduced. It's reduced strength. So we just ate up a lot of demand there. So if we retest 25,618, you can't play the same bounce off of it. Not as aggressively. Man, they are absolutely piling into calls. Look at that green graph line just go straight up. Amazing stuff, bruh. Amazing stuff. ES is flying. Still going. I love it. NASDAQ freaking flying, baby. Pop is coming home with milk and cheese. That's right. Are you saying that if we retest, expect price to fall lower than the lows, just not bounce? Well, not necessarily. What I'm saying is that, where's NASDAQ? One, I mean, we're blasting off right now. There is absolutely nothing bearish about this chart right here. I'm just saying, when we come back down to 618 today, tomorrow, whatever it is, this support won't be as strong because there was a set of demand sitting at 25,618, which is the overnight low. And now that we've put such an aggressive bounce off of it, it's not going to be as strong the second time around, or the third time, or the fourth time. So just be ready for that. However, this is incredibly bullish. Incredibly bullish. Just blast off into 25,850. Now 850 is this little overnight high from Wednesday. It's still going. Let's see. Silver, a little bit of top wick. NASDAQ is freaking exponential. Now, I closed out my long position, unfortunately, because I'm a big fat idiot. But, hey, continue to ride it. Continue to ride it. There we go, 852. That volume scared me. Let's go. Love to see it, baby. Should we reduce the trailing stop loss since we are approaching 69.98? That's up to you. It's not a bad idea, Jester King. As you go into a supply, to roll the trailing stop up based on probability, because you have to ask yourself, how do you separate hope from probability? Obviously, if you're long, you hope this is going to blast off another 1,000 points or 200 points on a yes, sure. But the probability is that if we're going to have some sort of rejection off of these upper levels at some point. Now, it doesn't say that we're not going to continue on upwards after we reject, and you have to make the decision. Do you want to execute a position, execute a stop and get out? Or do you want to hold on for a big move up? And that is up to you. That's the difference between men and children. 100 points a day keeps the doctor away. That's right, baby. I read Anna Colling's book a while back, and I don't think I understood everything very well, and I've been strategy jumping. But watch OM every day on YouTube. I like it. I like it. All right, what do we have here? NASDAQ, big old top wick. And this is off of what? This is off of Wednesday's pivot, 851. Silver's chilling. NASDAQ ES. Silver's going to give us something. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I have a pending give. Oh, man, I completely forgot about you, bro. Yeah, I'll get you set up today. I apologize, man. I apologize. I need a secretary. I need a secretary. Silver, ES, both bottom wicking. Unless we get an amazing 3C, made my max daily goal and now sitting on my hands. I would go ahead and forget about it anyway. Enjoy your kids. You don't need to pay taxes. That's right. Still going. ES is going. NASDAQ is still going high. Beautiful stuff. Do not short anything, of course. Not until you have a 3C. Check out NKD. Yeah, going crazy. Look at that. They're up 4% today. That's the Japanese market. Wow. Japanese market's going nuts. I'm not big on the tax game, but when I be claimed as taxable to be a prop trader. You can deduct your prop fees if you're profitable. If you're profitable. If you've made a net profit, you can deduct all your evaluation fees for props. It's a 1099. What is 3C? What's up, man? 3Cs is my system. It stands for 3 criteria. I've got a YouTube video on it. I'll post it for you. It's my mechanism of trading. It's called, the first criteria is volume. The second criteria is wick. The third criteria is follow through, high or high, price action, all that kind of fun stuff. I'll give you the video on it. I am releasing a 3-part video explaining each of the 3 criteria in depth. The first video will be released tomorrow, maybe Sunday. There you go. Watch that video. Silver's about to fall. I'm a tax payer. You can get away with writing off losses too. It'd be best if you got at least 1 payout per year. There you go. Which is weird. What if you're not profitable? I mean, you could still write them off if you're not profitable. I don't know. But the theory is if you're making money as a 1099, then most likely, I mean, that's a legitimate business concern to them. If you're not profitable, then their thing is like, why should I let you write off money if you're not getting paid by a 1099? So I think you have to have a 1099 to get paid by a prop, which means you have to be profitable. That's just, my thinking, but nice kick. Appreciate you, buddy. I posted our GO2 therapy message on general chat. Can I post here to a community? Yeah, go ahead. If y'all have small businesses, baby, spread them. I want y'all to spread your businesses. Is there any way in the future we can access the tax information you spoke about to Tier 2? Yeah, so if you ever do sign up for Tier 2, all of the Zoom calls that we have are saved. They're recorded and saved, so you can go back and watch them. Yeah, even that. Tylenol. Silver's still chilling. ES is still top wicking. Top wick, 69.96. You'd be making more in OnlyFans than trading. We have 688 million puts sold, 29 million calls purchased. So it's not necessarily a call buyer's day, but it is certainly a put selling day, which is positive gamma, which means difficult market to short in. So just remember that. I don't want to hear, oh, I got blown out on a put. Well, it's not ready for puts yet. We're not ready for puts yet. You got to leave in the oven for a while. What's the supposed ruling of the tariff? They declined to comment on it. So no ruling from them today. Silver's going back up. NASDAQ is chilling. I know you really don't do single stocks, but ASML flying lately. I bought a simple February after open. It's already up 20%. Nice. Very cool. Spammer in the chat. No, I let him. You're welcome, buddy. That video you need to make. The hero video? Top wig. Man, look at this. They're just stuck. Do I still mix with TRTX? I'm still holding TRTX. Absolutely. Explain that buying and selling calls and how it affects market direction. Huh. I should make a video about that, shouldn't I? Silver. Bouncing and flying, baby. Bouncing and flying. Like you can read minds. Yep. I made it really fast. What do you use to find the puts to calls ratio? I use Spot Gamma's Hero tool, HIRO, which I made a video about that too. I was talking about that with a member right there. So it just breaks down how do I utilize this, how do I break down how much calls and how much puts are on the books, and so on and so forth. Don't do it. Don't do it. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Bueller? Hello? Something just happened. Gold breaking out, baby. Silver's launching. Gold's launching. NASDAQ and ES are both top wicking. Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. Yeah, I think my internet froze or something. I thought I was going to get out of the blue screen, but I think we're good here. Audio's good. Do you know if you can add on the hero data instead of buying a full subscription? I don't believe you can. Now, they have different tiers, but I think you have to get at least the middle tier in order to get hero. Could be wrong about that, but Nice little top wick going across the board here on ES and NASDAQ. Good stuff. The United States military seizes another Russian oil tanker. Interesting. Hey, big top wick across the board, ES and NASDAQ. What are you doing over here? Silver's top wicking. NASDAQ just top wicked. ES. Let's go to the 5-minute. What do we got? What do we got? A little bit of volume there. Yeah, I mean, ES has got a decent little 5C setting up here. It's not an incredibly high volume spike, but it's there. It's there. It's playable. Man, silver just keeps on going, baby. I keep waiting. Watched it from your video. Yeah, buddy. Can you define or show what a prior high is? Yeah, sure. Let's take a look. So prior high, I mean, right here. Like, this is a good example. This is Wednesday's highs right there, high session. So you know there's going to be an offering at 998 for NASDAQ. This level right here is the pre-market session high from Wednesday. There's going to be a small offering there, which is why we're having a little rejection. Normally, these pivots are associated with a volume spike, and that's where you need to exploit. If you can learn not to do anything at all until you reach a level with volume, your trading will improve tenfold. If you're someone who's struggling, who can't put together like 5 green trades in a row, you only focus on volume, and that is all. You don't do anything unless you have a volume spike at a particular level, and then you execute a trade. Now, you're still going to take losses, of course, but the erroneous crap, the chasing crap, the trying to buy, break out and getting top ticked, or short the lows and getting bounced, that will be over with. I promise you. I promise you. Come sit on Daddy's lap and tell me what you want for Christmas, because I'm going to give you all the presents. I'm going to give you all the presents. That sounded flirty. Top wick still going, baby. Yeah, man, silver is putting on a beautiful setup here. Now, look, this is still a potential 3C. You know why? Where did the volume come in at? The volume came in at right here. We're still dealing with these high positions. So in my mind, this is what I see right here. Just a range. If we can get under, I mean, you can make it, if you want to be conservative, make it this. If you want to be aggressive, make it this. That is your range to break down. If we break that range out, there's a good chance we could hit 79 on silver, and you're going to get paid as long as you're confirmed. Because this supply says we came up here and they stopped that train dead in its tracks at 79.880 or 79.8. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm keeping a close eye on silver to see if there's potential here. ES and NASDAQ are still both getting crushed. That is beautiful. Beautiful. Still going. Stranger danger. What a freaking move this is. What a move this is. Wow. Wow. What a move this is. Look at the put activity. They just instantly bought back 1.3 billion in puts. Look at this. The zero DTEs have been running the game the past 2 weeks. It's extraordinary. Put that in the wrong channel. There you go. Volume on NASDAQ. See what they do with that. What is that, about 50% of the range? Is that a 50 fib right there? Yeah, it's right on the 50. So that is beautiful. Beautiful. Did you skip the 3C because you were more interested in silver? I took the 3C long, but I didn't take the short position, no. And I am monitoring silver, but yeah, I took this trade right here. I caught the bottom, but I didn't take the short, no. I'm having problems getting to the website I'd like to join. What's the problem? What, like, can you not just access the website itself? As much as I'd like to, I can't catch every single setup. I wish I could. Trump claims that Diddy wrote him a handwritten letter seeking a pardon. Bounce back up on NASDAQ. Beautiful. Silver just dumped in bottom wick. That means they are seeking liquidity. They're testing. When you see stuff like that, they're testing. So be ready. Silver's going to get ready to move here shortly. NASDAQ still bouncing. A pardon. Seeking a pardon. So I'm going to delete that. Delete that. I thought you said partner. Probably. Probably. Silver's getting ready to move. I would probably say within 10 minutes, Silver's going to move out of that range. So just keep an eye on Silver. SPX is chilling at 69.43. There we go. NASDAQ is failing that. Watch silver. Keep a close eye on silver. They're about to move. Warning, Will Robinson. Danger. Danger. Level for silver short entry. If you're looking to short silver, you need at least 79.68. If you want to get real confirmation, about 79.52. So that, to my opinion, the safety level is right there. 79.52. I mean, look at this. They're bouncing back up. Man, what a monster. Silver has not dropped since 650 this morning. It's been straight up. It's up almost 7%. Look at this. What a freaking move that is. Wow. I knew I was going to move within 10 minutes. I just didn't know which direction. For the 3C setup, how do you find the higher high area? I plot the high. I keep it simple. Plot the high. Look at that. Just smoked 80 with silver. Keep it close. Oh, look at that volume. Look at that volume, baby. Look at that volume. Amazing stuff. Supreme Court wraps up their session. They're done. Silver's 80.45, baby. 80.65 still going straight up, baby. We're coming up on trend line here, but they're still going. High amount of volume. Not outlier, but it's definitely high. NASDAQ getting wrecked. ES getting wrecked. We have call selling. A whole bunch of call sells here. A whole bunch of call sells. Silver still rocket ship, still going. Gold is still bouncing, just chilling at the highs. Amazing stuff, baby. Amazing stuff. Yeah, just move that out. Gold's there. NASDAQ is still bouncing back up. See what we can do, baby. What time is it? Coming up on 10 o'clock. 11 o'clock Eastern. NASDAQ is still faltering here. Still top ticking. What are you using to identify the calls and puts in the market? I'm using SpotGamma's Hero tool, which is right here. SpotGamma's Hero tool. It tracks the options data, which is on the left side of the YouTube channel. The green line is puts. The blue line is call. The green line are calls. The blue line are puts. So right now, what we're seeing here is call selling, a very high level of call selling, and put buying. So a little bit of bearish activity here. Silver might put on a little opportunity here. They might put on a little opportunity here, but we need a lower low. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. High volume, indication, silver, and Vamonos. Yes, sir, Primal. Yes, sir. I really want the gamma levels from SpotGamma in my Bookmap. Do you add all the levels from SpotGamma to Bookmap? I don't track. I mean, I read the founder's notes. I look at the main levels. But the bread and butter of my value from SpotGamma, it comes from the trace indicator, the hero indicator, and the founder's notes. That's where my three tenets of SpotGamma is right there. I like your stream. Just subscribe. Do you do this every day? I do. Yeah, what's up, man? I do stream every day, Monday through Friday. I stream from market open till roughly 11:30 Eastern, give or take. And then if we have an event like FOMC, I'll do a couple of streams a day. So I do think silver is gonna put on a fantastic short position here coming up. You just got to be patient for it. We have multiple high volume ticks in the relatively same amount of area. So if you notice, we've got a volume spike here and a volume spike here. So they're starting to hit the sells at the highs, which means we're not ready to sell yet because you don't have any confirmation. But you can tell that because the price action is climbing and we keep getting volume spikes, there is an appetite to sell prices into higher. So understand the market conditions here. Now, it doesn't mean start slapping market short positions. It means that I think the silver is setting up for a downside position here in the upcoming session. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. That's the signs. When you see high volume spikes into higher prices, that means supply. NASDAQ is still dropping over, getting wrecked. S&P is doing the same thing. We have a tremendous amount of call selling, put buying. Right here, you see this? Green line's going down, blue line's going down. That is call selling, put buying to the tune of 1.5 billion. Billion with a B. Check it every week. Do you prioritize the 1 minute or the 5 minute? I prioritize the 5 minute. However, I track the 1 minute for volume spike. That's why you see me sitting here on the 1 minute chart. I'm not confirming price action on the 1 minute. I confirm the volume on the 1 minute. And that allows me to get the earliest instance of volume spikes. And then I'll go up to the 5 and I'll see if they're building the same picture. The highest confidence trades come on higher time frames. Trump posted unpublished jobs data early on his social media account. Silver's going new highs. It's crazy stuff, bro. Crazy stuff. Man, that is cray cray, baby. Cray cray. 80.18. Another, let's watch this candle. Let's watch this candle. What are they doing? 80.135. You're welcome. You're welcome. Am I looking for a reversal when volume comes in at the bottom? Well, that's the theory, yes. So I love playing reversals. I love playing rejections. I love playing bottom wicks. And then, of course, remaining in that position as long as I can. And volume helps me identify those trades. There you go. Nice little top wick on that on silver. Cover short positions after they position long. What do you mean? Oh, man, they are still selling a crap ton of calls. Look at that. It's going to be hard for them to rally this market when they're selling that many calls. On paper silver? Maybe. I mean, silver's up almost 7% right now. Now, like I said, I do think they're going to put on a phenomenal move here, but because they're still grinding here, I need a liquidity sweep. And of course, volume. Right now, these are definitely volume spikes, but they're not the big daddy. That's why I've got this dotted line set at 1.5 thousand. If I get 1.5 thousand, which is even below yesterday's price action, yesterday's volume, I'm going to short the crap out of it. And I'm going to say the same thing today that I said yesterday, is that silver is going to give you a phenomenal opportunity this afternoon. Don't do anything until it shows it. It will show it. But don't do anything. Try to front run it. Don't get FOMO until that position sets it up. I warned you yesterday and it paid out. I'm telling you it's going to do it again today. especially going into a weekend. I promise you, if you can wait, silver will pay you massive profits this afternoon. Maybe not even this afternoon, just sometime in the afternoon style session. What does a paid member get more than if I just watch you on YouTube? Well, I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays as well, so you get 2 more additional days. Plus, you get free streams on other events. If you're tier 2, you get the weekly briefs and the Zoom calls on Sunday. You get the data postings. You get signal channels, commentary, analysis. I mean, all that stuff that I'm posting in the channels. So, yes, you do get 3 free streams here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but that's all you get, whereas the server gets everything else. Do I announce my entries and exits? I do. I do. More importantly, I post setups, which is, in my opinion, even better because it teaches you what I'm looking for and how I'm looking for things rather than simply here's where I'm entering, here's where I'm exiting. Looks like we're about to begin land-based operations in Mexico. Did not think we'd be invading Mexico this year. Right now we have back and forth action on Hero. They went from 352 million calls purchased down to 1.2 billion sold, and now they're back up to 500 million. So they're back and forth on call buying and puts call buying, call selling. Nasdaq is all the way back up. They tested the 50 fib and then bounced back up. Can I take a look at gold? Yeah, let's take a look. So gold's doing something very similar to silver. There, it looks like they're kind of just stalling up into higher prices after being topped with a volume spike. Silver is starting to do the same thing. Just be ready for it. Right here. Sorry for the questions. No, that's why we're here, baby. Ask questions. On your 3C video, sometimes you draw a line on the high candle with the 3C wick, while the other examples use the previous candle. Well, it depends. It depends on the setup. So the 3C does not have to be 3 consecutive candles. The 3C can be 2 hours worth of volume or worth of price action if we sit in a range. So if you look at silver here, like right now, this is a perfect example. We had a whole bunch of volume come in here, a whole bunch of volume come in here. We have the top sets here and here. So we show just, the market environment in general for silver right now is that they keep on selling into these high prices. You keep getting large sell lots hit at the higher prices, and that is a sign of distribution. Knowing that, knowing the Wyckoff market cycles, Anna is that they're selling into higher prices. So what does that tell me? I need a lower low to determine that the market is now ready to exit distribution and enter markdown, which is a downtrend, fancy word for downtrend. And you could determine here how you want to leg into this. You've got 79.88, which is a beautiful one, and then the most conservative one is 79.52. And all I'm really looking for is the higher high or lower low of the candle. And it's the whole environment. Right now, they're bouncing 79.5, so you don't really want to short at 79.5. You can be short into it, you can be short after it, but you don't want to be short at 79.5 because you're going to get bounced. And there's nothing more infuriating is that when you're short like here, and the market keeps bouncing right where you're short. That's terrible. That means you've taken a short entry at a support. Thoughts on NASDAQ making 900? It's possible. If they bounce this back up 100%, it'll be going there. I mean, that's a very John Madden thing to say, but here you go. High volume bottom wick on silver. Can I show the time at the bottom of the screen? Let me see if I can get that on there. My bad. Trading view. Like that? Does that help? You can't score if you don't catch the football. NASDAQ going, baby. Y'all see that Steyerog 12-gauge shotgun that Palmetto State had on their website yesterday? Am I buying that? No. No. I'm in the process of building a like a competition 22, and then after that, my goal is finally to get a 50 cal. So I told the wife that I would pause any kind of major firearm purchases to budget for 50 cal. What chassis am I using? I'm using MDT chassis. I got my buy list. I could show you all the products I'm going to buy. I've got a little list I'm waiting on. Want one of my grips? Do you have an MDT 22, like a 22 grip? I'd love the grip. I'd love one of those grips. What's the price for a 50? It depends. I want to get the semi-auto Barrett, so you're probably looking at 10 grand. I got the Tokarev bullpup. Nice. Yeah, I didn't get the bullpup, but I do have one of those Tokarev semi-autos. Silver bottom wick back up. NASDAQ is beautiful. I'm a big fan of the Wyckoff model. Where do you learn it from? Any good education? I don't. My main source of education comes from Anna Coling, and in my opinion, I think Anna Coling's teachers are even better than Wyckoff because she consolidates. Wyckoff has a bunch of cycles. I think there's 7 different parts of his cycle, whereas Anna Coling only has 4. So they're both. I mean, she's learned everything. She grew everything from Wyckoff. So it's all the same stuff, just presented differently. But Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis is a fantastic book. Highly encourage you to read it. And then of course, I mean, internet's your best friend. I don't have a specific source for Wyckoff. The problem with VPA and Wyckoff is that it's very much open to interpretation. It's very much open to interpretation. So there are people out there I've seen who claim to be VPA traders, and their takes on VPA are absolutely terrible. It's just wrong. One guy said that reversals happen on no volume, not high volume, which is dead wrong. So someone with like a couple 100,000 followers, you got to be careful who you learn from. So if I can find some good sources that are high quality stuff, other than myself, of course, I'll write them down. No, you don't have to ship me. You don't have to ship me a free one, dude. I'd be happy to pay for it. But I'd love to get one. Yeah. Silver moving? Yeah, silver's moving, baby. I know you make money trading since you're dropping 10K for a fun toy. Well, I ain't buying it yet, but yeah, that's the plan. Is I'm gonna get one. Discount code 20% off OMTPT. Yeah, buddy. I love it. Do it. Appreciate you. I'm excited, man. Those are beautiful grips. All right, silver's coming off here beautifully. Breaking all the way down. Already, we're talking a massive move on silver. That's a 1% move on silver, which is extraordinary. Coming down. I already set it up? For real? I like it. Look, right here. Bottom wick right off of that level. Surprise, surprise, right? Still dropping. Top wick. NASDAQ is still going, baby. We just wiped prior highs. New high of the day. 200 shy of a buffer. Funded off that NASDAQ move. Nice. Boom. No volume spike on that move, so they're transacting to go higher. My brother just got that John Wick pistol. No kidding. The staccato pistol from John Wick. That thing's like $7,000, dude. It's beautiful. It's 10 G's in California. It could be 10 G's. Last I checked, I thought it was like $7,000, but yeah, it's beautiful. Silver. Bottom wick off that level right there. Once I hit a big silver move, I'll get a staccato XC. Yeah, buddy. I love it. Get them firearms, baby. Let's see. Sorry, I want to show off. I love it, Pablo. Look at that. Your last name wouldn't be Escobar, would it be? Because that is a beautiful weapon. When do one-on-one start? Honestly, I haven't put a deadline on it. How about February 1st? We'll start a deadline. Simply because we'll start a new month. Guzman like Chapo. There you go. Yeah, we'll start one-on-ones. I know that's something I've been looking to implement. We'll do February 1st. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so I used to have one-on-ones back in 2021, 2022, but there was too much for me to handle. I couldn't do it. I was spending all day, every day just doing one-on-ones. So I took them away, and now people want them. So I think we'll do an a la carte one-off type of thing where if you want to do it, I'll do a limited number per month where I don't have to spend all my days doing it because I don't have time to do that. And we'll do some one-on-ones. NASDAQ, ES. ES is going 7,000. ES tapped 7 Gs. 7 Gs, baby. We're coming up to the high of October 27th. I remember that you were getting flooded. I was, yeah. Lottery for the one-on-ones. It would be the first 5. I'll do like some sort of a calendar setup. You throw up once you walked into my house. I have guns in almost every room. You and me would be good friends, Pablo. I have an AR-15, my favorite prized AR, hanging on the wall beside me as we speak. Well, things are kind of back and forth. Silver's back up. NASDAQ and ES are both back up to highs and flagging. If I'm being completely honest with you, I have very little desire to even take another trade. Doesn't everyone have guns in every room? I hope so. It just doesn't go down and just doesn't jump down and go around and shoot people. Yeah, I mean, every now and then I have to have a talk with it. I have to teach it, train it. Hey, you can't just go around shooting people AR-15. You have to be okay. Just stay there. Is that enough volume on ES at ES 7,000 for a short? Maybe. I would like to see more than that, especially given the fact that we just blasted right into it. So I would probably say we're going to at least 7007, which is new all-time highs, if I had to guess. It's so funny you mentioned the book from Anna Colling. I have it on my shelf, unread. Dude, you have a gold mine sitting in on your shelf. You need to read that. Start reading it today. Go read the first chapter today. No exceptions, no excuses. Rule number 57, play like a champion. Remember, if you're in the Discord, go make sure you vote for the TPT, Take Profit Trader, $50,000 account giveaway. Go in the Discord, make sure you vote, and I will pick a winner today, this afternoon. Wedding Crashers, great movie. It is a great movie. They don't make them like that anymore. One of the best comedies. Thank God that AR listens to me. I know. I'm in the process of rereading Anna's book, taking my time this go around. Nice. By the way, if you are Tier 2, because I know a lot of people have signed up for Tier 2 this past couple weeks, is that I did an entire series breaking down every chapter of the Anna Coling book last year. So go back through the Zoom calls and look. Chapter 1 all the way through Chapter 11 on Anna Coling, and watch them. We went over every single tidbit. We summarized the chapters. We applied them to the charts. It was a fantastic series. By the way, with our conversation about wireless Bluetooth speakers, I think I've settled on the JBL 320. The JBL 320, simply because of the cost and the usefulness and the mobility. I want something robust and very beefy, but not too big, and I think that's it. You too, Craig. Have a good day, buddy. Coming out the Bluetooth speakers like you're shopping for life insurance, dude. I love I have a home gym. I work out in my garage, which is it's one of my favorite parts of this barndominium because it's a gigantic garage. So like music is a big part of that. It's a big part of that. So I take a lot of care about which speaker I involve in that gym. I blast music while I'm working out, baby. Creed. Especially that I don't have any neighbors. The fact that I can blast music as loud as I want, not have to worry about neighbors, like it's extraordinary. And I need something loud. Did you build your barndominium? Me and my lady have been looking at it for a while. I did, yeah. I self-contracted it, and I built as much as I could myself. The Amish built a good part of it, but I self-contracted it, so 100%. I've got a whole bunch of lessons learned. And then after the fact, after I built it, I realized barndominiums are Faraday cages because they're wrapped in metal siding, which is a huge plus. And after reading that book 1 second after, I'm pumped. Do you also have a home theater? I have a home theater room that's wired for it. I've got wires throughout the walls, but I don't have the speakers yet. I don't have the system installed yet. I've been using the last house I had. You know, my old house, we had Klipsch. I think that's how you pronounce it. I used their system, and I loved it. It was actually fantastic. But the people that bought the home, they wanted to keep they bought the sound system for me because they wanted to keep it there. So I have to buy another one, and I just haven't gotten around to do it yet. But this is the company I use. They're extraordinary, extraordinary. I'm doing a 9.2 system in that theater room, so I'll be doing a Adobe 9.2 system. It's funny how we used to blast our speakers at Cunson Air Force Base. Now we can't stand loud music. Yeah, buddy. What time do I work out? Does it differ day to day? I normally work out about 3 o'clock. Normally. I'm not a morning workout guy anymore. Obviously, I used to have to do that with the military, but I'm just not a workout in the morning type of guy. So I do all my workouts in the afternoon. Yeah, 4 a.m. workouts suck. Sometimes I'll throw in a morning workout, but most of the time, like 3 o'clock comes, I go. You know, I bring the kids to school in the morning. The missus picks them up in the afternoon, which allows me to go work out. You're welcome, Bennett. Yeah, I'll help you as much as I can. I'll give you all the advice I can. So if you ever have questions, highly recommend it. I have zero regrets about building a barndominium. All right, Nasdaq is top ticking. ES is top ticking. Silver is still chilling. LMT pulled back hard. Mexico announcements pumped it back up. Love it, baby. 5 a.m. workout like Jocko. Yeah. One of the reasons is because, you know, if I'm in the garage, I can't wake everybody. I'll wake the whole house up, dropping a barbell and blasting music because I work out at home. So that's one of the reasons. But the expected tariff ruling is supposed to come on January 14th. January 14th. Make note, that is Wednesday. Wednesday. We have CPI next week too, by the way. Although I am getting a hankering to start doing some running. So I might start doing some morning runs. From our mailbox to the very back of the property is 0.4 miles. So if I could run there and back 2.5 times, that's a mile. So I could just go back there and do like 3 or 4 back and forths and get my mile in. I've been beginning a running plan myself the past month. I hate running, which is why I'm making myself. That's exactly my thought, my mindset, Benny Shi. I hate running, loathe it. But I like doing stuff that sucks because it builds character. Am I still using volume profile every morning? Yeah, I plot levels every morning with it. ES is rejecting the highs. Nasdaq is rejecting the highs. Silver's chilling. We have call, selling, put buying forming. Which day is the tariff ruling? January 14th, Wednesday. 14th. We have a lot of call selling put buying here. Now they're still defending the morning high as support, which they should. So if they do take the morning high back, then you could look for a little bit more pressure, but not until then. And we have a lot of call selling put buying here, so it does look, the option chain looks a little bearish. And they just smoke the crap out of that green candle on NASDAQ all the way down. Silver still holding. Good to know. I hated ellipticals, so I did it up last summer and dropped 45 pounds combined with diet, of course. Great zone, 2 to 3 cardio isn't too hard on the old joints. Nice, there you go. Yeah. I have a couple of CrossFit style equipments that help me cardio. You've got the rower and you've got the assault bike. And the assault bike, I'd rather freaking it's awful. The assault bike is awful, but it's fantastic for keeping your heart rate up. You're welcome, Nico. I'm having a crazy week in Top Step, man. Absolute crazy week. One of the better weeks I've ever had. Unbelievable. Oh, man. If you hate running like I do, other forms of cardio makes running so much less disgusting. 100%. Kettlebell snatches are amazing, yeah. My brother-in-law said his retirement plan is XRP. Not sure what to say, and he means it. Went on about that for a while. Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend that. Does a assault bike have a 30-round mag? Yes. Yeah. Silver's about to break out again, baby. I want silver to keep on going up, up and up and up. The higher it goes, the better the opportunity this afternoon. Did you find that stop under structure is the best exit strategy? Yes. Ooh. Yeah, just listen. I didn't have the capacity to say anything otherwise. Yeah, sometimes it's just to be quiet. 3C too much too massive, my retirement plan. Yeah, buddy. I like it, D-Trent. I like it. I have a buddy that he knows what I do. I talk to him about. He's one of my best friends. Well, and then talk to him all the time about the stuff, and he refuses to take any risk in life. Doesn't want to go look for a better paying job. He doesn't want to invest. Doesn't want to learn how to trade. Doesn't want to do anything other than his traditional 5% match TFP or 401k, and that's how he wants to live his life. And then he says stuff to me like, "Oh, it must be nice." And I tell him. I was like, "Yeah, you know what? It is nice. But I've also taken the risk. I've also taken the risk." He sees the good stuff, but he doesn't see me, you know, my heart rate is at 250 because I just lost 120 grand in a single day. He doesn't see the years of wanting to punch myself in the face with a sledgehammer. He doesn't see the leveraging my assets in order to take risk. But some people got to learn, man. They just don't have it. Is he a socialist? No, he's not a socialist. He's not a socialist. Although I know his wife did vote for Biden, but which surprised me given what I knew about him. He doesn't see you having to deal with the jabronis. So yeah, I mean, I'm not even talking about this. I'm talking about trading. I'm talking about the real estate. I'm talking about the land that I purchased. I bought this land for an investment property. My best friend's like that. He's also awful at managing money. He's just so broke he couldn't buy me a $40 game. I got a 10K bonus and spent $3K on a new PC immediately. Silver's coming up. What do I do for electric in the barnuminium for the if you're so far from society? Well, we still have electric, you know. I'm not living like the Amish. I mean, the Amish built my house, but I'm not living like them. I prefer not to live like them. So one of the reasons why we finally decided to build, because we owned the property for a couple of years before we decided to build, is that I was waiting for them to run fiber internet here. And they finally did. So once they ran fiber, we started building. So we have internet, you know, we also have running water too, which makes it nice for the toilets. So here we go, baby. My IBKR is freezing up still. Anyone having problems with IBKR? Keeps on freezing. Oh, there we go. Now it's back. Cowabunga it is. We're a handful. Oh, y'all are great. I love y'all. Silver's getting sticky. It is getting sticky. The ickiest of the sticky. Can't get through that high. I think it'll take out that 80.15, 80.18. I'm not ready to take a position on it yet, of course. I'm just waiting. Although I'm kind of torn here because on one hand I want to be done and just kind of start my weekend. On the other hand, like silver's gonna be a gold mine later today. Options are sticky. Silver's sticking right to the highs. Nasdaq is chilling here too. I need a standard old school Clint Eastwood style shotgun that's reliable but has the look. Any recommendations? Anyone I missed a gun from? In terms of the look, I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, do you have a picture of it? My shotgun recommendations are always a Mossberg 500 or a Remington 870. I myself prefer the 870, but I also have a Mossberg 500. A side by side? Ruger makes a good affordable side by side shotgun. And there, you can get one that's cheap or expensive, of course. What's it called? Not Beretta. Barrett actually makes a side-by-side shotgun, believe it or not, like the 50 cal. Nasdaq is breaking down here still. How about the Maverick shotgun? Is that tactical looking one? You know what one of my favorite shotguns are right now? Um, I have a 410 lever action shotgun. It's fantastic. I love it. It's a very fun gun to shoot, and it looks awesome. The volume alerts helped me yesterday. I just need to get the hang of it. There you go. Well, the first thing you need to do to get the hang of it, Chris, is to just simply set volume alerts, and then do nothing until you have a volume alert, and then you decide what you need to do when that volume alert hits. Do you like trading Sunday opens? I like fading the Sunday opens. So if the Sunday opens up with a big gap up, I love shorting it. If it opens up with a big gap down, I like buying it. And then after that, I don't touch anything else until the market open. A mean reversion trade, I guess you can call it. Am I expecting silver to have a dip? I am. I'm expecting silver to roll over from here. Plus or minus, a couple of points. Interesting. What is this? Big green on silver. Big green on silver. Interesting. With volume, too. Is that the liquidity sweep we need to go lower? Is that it? What's your volume alert on NASDAQ? Right now I don't have one set, but when I set one, I'll let you know. Simply because I don't really intend on trading much after I leave the computer. I'm going to go about my day. We have put selling and call buying picking up on the options. Silver's about to break out again. It's rocketing. Massive green move on silver. Wow. Holy smokes, dude. Unbelievable. Absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. Wow. I just learned you can't say that word in here. Yeah. I think Phil said the same thing yesterday. Yeah. He said skeet, and apparently I blocked it. What would it be like Dave Chappelle? Look at that. That is a liquidity sweep if I've ever seen one. Holy smoke aronies. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Wow. Old Remington 870 Magnum. Wow, I love it. That's a textbook liquidity sweep with volume. That usually gets you going in the downward direction. You still need to close 80.12 if you're not already in. 80.12 is what you need. That's incredible. That looks nice. A Stoger double defense looks pretty nice. I like Stoger. Stoger's a good brand. If you've ever heard of Stoger, Stoger's made by Benelli. It's their value brand. It just does not have the recoil system built into the stocks that Benelli has. Still coming off your beautiful stuff. That is extraordinary right there, baby. Absolutely extraordinary. Am I going to play it? If this is what I need to play, absolutely, J-Dog. Absolutely, J-Dog. What you got, Proggy? What you got there? Look at that. Here we go. That is called a liquidity sweep. That is why you do not chase the breakouts after consolidation. We had, what, an hour of consolidation? And then this quick, weird move up on no volume and then clocked it. That is why you don't chase the first initial move. It's extremely amazing. 48 million puts sold, 208 million calls, as the option chain is looking more bullish on the indexes. Man, big grain back up. They hit 7% yet? No, not yet. 6.8%. This cracks me up. We've all been here, haven't we? Guaranteed. This has happened to me before. Take us to the promised land. We will, Phil. We're going to get there, baby. We're going to get there. Hey, we're way past. I should have been signed off already by now. I'm going to give it a few more minutes to see what this little shakeout's going to do on silver, and then I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to call it a day. Lose a few thousand, I have to put a smile on my face, go hang with the family. Yeah. Trust me, I've had to do that. I've had to. The life of a trader is not always great. It's being at family functions when you just lost 20 grand. Having to play with your kids when you just lost 70 grand. The NASDAQ rocket? Yeah, oh, holy smokes, what happened to NASDAQ? NASDAQ held the morning low and then just launched. Wow. All right, I'm going to call it a day. That's it for me. Gold's going for a breakout. What silver? Oil's going for a breakout. Everything's going for a breakout. You get a breakout. You get a breakout. Man, oil's just launching. Gold's launching. Silver's launching. NASDAQ, everything launching. RTY's launching. The whole market is just flying, baby. Profit taken before next week's shenanigans. I don't know. Maybe, man. This is crazy. Oprah. That's right. That's right. All right, y'all. That culminates one of the best weeks I've had on Top Step in a long time. Funnily enough, I had a mediocre week on TPT. I couldn't get a lot going on TPT, so I've been playing very small on TPT. I've taken only one payout this week on TPT, but I requested my next takeout on Top Step. It's been one of the best weeks I had. I had a fantastic week on IBKR. I mean, it's been a solid one of those weeks where I just couldn't miss. And I know what happens next week, so I got to be very careful because when I have a week like this, I get wrecked. It happened to me back in September. I couldn't miss. And then I got freaking destroyed at the end of September. So I'm going to be careful next week. We're going to see. It's been a fantastic week. The silver plays have been fantastic. The volume has been fantastic. Y'all have been fantastic. So, yeah. I appreciate y'all hanging out. If you have any questions both on YouTube or in this server, please hit me up with it. You can hit me up on optionsmillionaire2020@gmail.com, or you can shoot me a DM. Be on the lookout for a YouTube channel this weekend, maybe a podcast. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really enjoying this warm winter weather, so I'm spending a lot of time outside. Usually wintertime is my content creation months, but global warming has kind of brought summer back to us for a little bit. Other than that, man, that's it. Go vote for the 50K account. I'll give that away this afternoon. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you next week. I'm out. See you.